Well, hello there. Tragedy. When the feeling's gone and you can't go on. This is, in fact, the second part of our Milky Awards and by-election preview stream. We did have a first part. That first part has currently been set to private on the channel while I wait and find out whether or not the YouTube gods basically pull it down before I'm able to go and edit it once it's been processed. I made a schoolboy error in sending a join link into the chat for NA to join. The very same schoolboy error, by the way, which I'm doing for a second time right now. And we had NA on, and that was fine. And then we had another guest, someone called William. And I thought, this is an open, welcoming place. It's the Milky Awards. I might as well have this William on as well. Maybe it's a long-time viewer who finally wants to say hello. And well, whoever William was, they played a little prank on us, a little troll, with some video image content which is not appropriate for YouTube in any shape or form. I'm not even going to describe to you what it was, but it was not good. I need to pray now that this person in the chat waiting to join us, who is allegedly NA, is in fact NA. Let's hope so. NA, tell me it's you. I don't want to see any frogs.
It's me, don't worry.
All right. Wonderful. All right. Now we are creating a cordon sanitaire. Okay. No one else joins the stream today. Dear viewers, you can try and join via that link. I will not accept you. These are
Maybe you should just delete the link.
Maybe
you should just delete the link.
That I don't know if I can. Can I do that?
It's a Pandora's box now. I don't know if you can do that.
Comment. Oh, whatever. The point is, we are where we are. So anyway, it may be. What do you mean? Pterodax has entered the studio. I can't trust it.
No, don't trust him. He said in bullet. Let him in.
All right then, Pterodax. It better be you.
Yes, it is me here.
Okay, so my God, what a night. Okay, so on the assumption that part one is not going to be available for people to view, I need to quickly run down what happened in part one before we carry on with the stream. Okay, so it was the Milky Awards. We were going over who the previous Dan Apollo. It's not happening. For one thing, we're full. I'm afraid. I'm very sorry. But
do you want me to leave for this?
Maximum. No. The people who are in are in. Let me just find my results again. Goodness me, I've got all flustered.
I think you can at least let Dan comment and all that stuff, I think. But yeah.
Dan can comment, but we just had Dan Apollo pop up to join, but we're actually full. We can't have any more than we currently have in the chat at the moment. But that is okay. Right, so anyway, to bring us back up to speed very quickly from where we were before, this is a stream which is the Milky Awards for the 2025 Milky Awards. It's also going to be a preview of the by-election, which is taking place today as well. I'm not going to be live streaming the results because they're due in at 4 a.m. and I have work tomorrow, but I will be covering the results at some point over Friday or the weekend once we've got them in. Milky Awards, after the nominations, we had 4 results that were already done. Worst UK politician was Keir Starmer. We all agreed. We thought that was spot on. Biggest winner of 2025 for Arsenal reform. Begrudgingly, yes, I suppose so. Non-political moment of 2025, the new Pope. Yep, fine. Swiss content of the year was the local elections coverage. Fantastic. We love us some local elections. Then we started to move on to the results, and we had Rising Star of 2025. Was it Zoran Mandani, Zach Polanski, Katie Lamb, or Rupert Lowe? Well, the results were in, and it was the Mayor of New York, Zoran Mandani. We then
just for the record, the members of for the record, the members, everyone here except for you, thought it was Zach Polanski.
Yeah, yes. Well, I mean, but in fairness, I knew what the result was. I had the result in front of me, so I can't be credited with a crystal ball here. Everyone else did think it was Zach Polanski, but yes, it was Mandani. And now here we are, back to where we were in the first place. Non-entity. Okay. We've covered a lot of ground. Are we all ready to get on with the show?
Yeah, let's just go for non-entity because we already discussed it.
Okay, yes. Okay, so non-entity was going to be either Keir Starmer, Ed Davey, your party, or John Swinney. I can reveal in joint third place was John Swinney and Keir Starmer, which means that our non-entity of 2025 is either Ed Davey or your party. Now, from when we were chatting in part one, were most of you guys leaning towards Ed Davey?
I said it was either going to be Ed Davey or your party, just because your party good its chances of becoming a new left-wing party in the UK, and Ed Davey because he's done nothing since the general election.
Okie dokie. Well, are you ready? I will reveal all. So, non-entity of 2025 is your party with 50% of the votes. Yes. Now, I understand your reasoning, guys, and it is solid to go, well, the Lib Dems, with all of the opportunities, they've been completely marooned in the polls. But the one thing we do need to remember is Ed Davey and the Lib Dems, they are a party that exists, and they do poll numbers. Your party, at the time of this voting at least, was not a party that existed and did not poll any numbers.
Also,
it does fit in with non-entity a little bit better.
It also should probably account the fact that many of your viewers could be left-wing. As a result, they're very, very disappointed with your party's internal infighting and inaction in general and all that stuff. Particularly with, I don't think they even have a candidate in this by-election. And there's even debate whether or not they're going to actually have a candidate in the locals.
They're apparently not running in the locals this year.
Hey, you can't lose an election you don't run in.
Smart thinking.
Yeah. Okay. Apollo asks a very philosophical question here. Does coming last in non-entity actually make someone the biggest non-entity? And not only coming last, but coming joint last. John Sweeney and Keir Starmer. Perhaps, honourable mentions at the very least.
One thing that I've thought is that Keir Starmer is almost like, imagine the Terminator, but portrayed by John Major's spitting image puppet.
By the way, to the two questions that were asked by Apollo TD, Corbyn endorsed the Greens in Gorton and Denton. Yes, he did. And you what? They're not running anyone in the locals? No, they're not. The reason for it is basically because they took so long to set up even the most basic of infrastructure for the party that they don't have any candidates for locals, and nor do they have enough money either for locals. So even if they wanted to run candidates, they can't.
Skyoko7, I'll just add this quickly. Skyoko7 has popped up in the chat and says your party are apparently standing in the May elections, just as a counterpoint there.
As far as I know, they're not, so that may have changed, but I haven't found anything that they are. I mean, I even saw reports that they might even struggle for the 2027 May locals because of how bad the situation's been in terms of organisation. I mean, they've only just picked their parliamentary leader today, and you can guess who that is.
Corbyn.
Yeah, Corbyn. It is.
The only question now is Sarah Satana going to quit the party and make her own thing?
I think she'll join the Greens.
She'll just join the Greens.
By the way, again, I'm trying to sort of future-proof this, assuming that part one is not going to be available for anyone to watch. I do want to mention that we had an amazing little bit where we had a little moving barometer signified by my hand, where we tried to figure out how right-wing reform and restore and advance were relative to the BNP, Gerard Batten's UKIP, and the Tories. But sadly, we just don't have time to go over that again now. You've missed out if you weren't here the first time round. Apologies. Are you ready for Best UK Politician of 2025?
Yeah.
There we are. Okay. So we only had 3 finalists for this one. And the 3 finalists were Nigel Farage, Zach Polansky, and none of the above. There were genuinely enough multitudes of people that said variations of none of them, none of the above, can't choose, etc., that I chose to include that as an option.
Well, I think we know who's
I
winning
think
this
I can
one.
tell that who's won that. Then it's going to be none of the above.
You're saying none of the above. What are the rest of you
Yeah.
saying? Give me your predictions now.
It depends how many left wingers in your chat, in your polls voted. If so, Zach might win. If not, it'll be none of the above because I don't think anyone wants to vote Nigel Farage as the winner for this topic.
It makes sense to vote Nigel, but yeah, none of the above, I think, is the winner.
Who am I waiting on for?
None of
Pterodax?
the above. None of the above are for much the same reasons.
Okay, right then. Well, Oh
Sorry,
wait, did I have
what's
one
the
more?
category again?
Sorry, the category is Best UK Politician, and our 3 finalists were Nigel Farage, Zach Polanski, and none of the above. Who do you think won?
Yeah, Polanski. That's who I voted for.
Polanski. All right then. So, in third place was Nigel Farage. Surprise, surprise, the Swiss audience en masse did not elect Nigel Farage as Best UK Politician. So it's between Zach Polanski and none of the above. The winner was Zach Polanski with 46% of the vote.
Yeah, I had a feeling.
Oh, wow.
There's
So
enough
good
left
for
wingers
Polanski.
in your. It's the audience Swiss that would vote for Zach Polanski.
No, you are right, John. I really underestimated the left-wing viewership of Captain Swiss.
I think, if anything, the 3 finalists of this Best UK Politician speak to a real sort of popular dissatisfaction with the status quo when the Best UK Politician is either Nigel Farage, the insurgent right-wing party, Zach Polanski, the insurgent left-wing party, or none of the above.
At the very least,
don't like any of them.
At the very
Well,
least, you think Andy Burnham might have at least made it or something.
Well,
Oh,
no, because he was quite unknown throughout all of the last year. It was only this year he began to pop up again.
I need to confess, during the voting, there were a few nominations for Andy Burnham as Best UK Politician, but I got a call late at night from the Labour NEC, and they told me Burnham wasn't allowed on the ballot. All right, we're on to the word or phrase of 2025. Oh, Apollo TD says we're all dirty commies. We love you too, Apollo. Word or phrase of 2025. And there are only 2 choices here. We have 6, 7.
Oh, God, no.
Can I ask, what does that mean? Because I've seen that over and over again. What is the meaning behind it?
My understanding, it started as a TikTok thing with this rapper that said the numbers 6 and 7 for something. And since
then
then,
it was something to do with basketball for a little while as well. It became a basketball fan meme for a bit.
and ever since then, I think, was it Gen Alpha started using it whenever like the numbers 6 and 7 came up.
Have any of you guys seen the clip of Keir Starmer with some kids in a school saying 6, 7?
The only thing that I know is that South Park made an episode about it where Peter Thiel thinks it's some sort of satanic ritzy thing to bring about the Antichrist or something.
It's very much a little bit like the Markiplier E meme from back in
Oh
the day.
yeah, just completely nonsensical.
Yeah.
All right.
Honestly,
well,
I'm so out of touch.
So it's basically just it's basically just a nonsensical meme then.
It's basically
It's
nonsensical.
brainwashed.
I've heard from some people that it sort of apparently means so or not much of one thing or the other, but then also it's completely nonsensical, and then also it's like a meme said ironically because it's so nonsensical that people just say whatever I mean, I as you guys know, I work in a nursery, and what I've started doing just to piss off some of my colleagues at work is we have to do head counts for the children whenever we move them from room to room, and I'll be counting the children into the room as they go. I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and every single time recently without fail, I've gone 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and I get people aren't happy with me for doing it. I'm a menace. Right. So this isn't going to shed any light on what 6, 7 actually means, but I still want to show you the clip nonetheless because I find it absolutely hilarious. This was Keir Starmer visiting a
Oh
school.
God, please don't. This is so cringeworthy.
Yes.
Please.
Yes.
I'll leave the stream.
Oh, God.
Pure Alan Partridge energy.
You need to see it, guys. You really do. Right?
Oh,
Can you hear it as well?
Yeah, I
really.
can.
All right, beautiful. Right, sit back and enjoy, guys.
How did you get to the end that quickly?
Very good reading.
No, because when I last saw you, you were here.
Oh, it's not on the same page.
6, 7. Yeah.
Oh dear
6,
Lord.
7.
Oh.
Chaos has erupted.
It's in page 6, 7.
We're not over that yet.
Oh.
Alan Partridge.
Still very much.
You know what was really Alan Partridge?
If there's one thing that's united the boomer generation, the Gen X, the millennials, and the Gen Z, it's how cringe this meme is.
I think
I
the
just-
thing that's just remarkable about almost anything that Starmer does is that everything he does, when it comes to not speaking like a Dalek, is either extreme cringe or extreme painful social awkwardness. And there's just no in between with anything else. There was rumours
sorry.
apparently that he wanted to do Hugh Grant. He wanted to sing Hugh Grant's "Love Actually" song as a TikTok video, and his advisors had to tell him not to do it because it would have been one of the most cringe-worthy things that the world has ever seen. So he
Do you
never
know
did
Would
it
that
in the
just-
end.
Wouldn't that
Those,
just give him
those
some
advisors had
personality?
more sense than the advisors that told Prince Andrew not to do the interview on the BBC Newsnight. But at least he listened to them.
Yeah, it's true.
Can I just say though, look at the look of sheer joy on that child's face there. He's sat in a classroom with the Prime Minister, what would normally be the most boring choreographed affair anyone could imagine to happen in a school. And there he is, loving life, because the Prime Minister of Great Britain said 6, 7 and waved his arms around in a silly manner. Keir Starmer missed a trick. Lowering the voting age to 16, not going to help him. If he lowered it to 6 or maybe 7,
Or 7.
he'd be doing well for himself.
I think this might have worked for him if he wasn't just so cringe at doing it.
Now there's a clip at the end here. Oh, right, I'll play this bit as well. This is him actually getting told off by one of the teachers where they said, actually, we banned them from doing this at the school because of how disruptive it is. So I'll just play this.
That's
little
why
bit
he
for you.
apologized for doing it, because he apologized for doing it, and I was like, why? Oh, so that was the reason why.
I'll play this last little bit of the clip.
See you later.
Oh.
That's a bit wild.
Stuff for that lovely 6, 7. You know, children get into trouble for very mathematically.
Oh, do they?
So,
Right.
Thanks for that 6, 7, Kia.
He stepped on a rake there.
Yeah, a bit off topic. Dan has just posted something very interesting in the comment section about Gorton and Denton.
I'll read it out. It says, Britain-elects and Tom Harwood both reporting that Gorton and Denton by-election turnout is very high and the Greens are now primed to win. Well, if the with the way by-elections like this and these sort of times typically work, the higher the turnout, it typically means people voting for change parties. The lower the turnout, it basically means status quo. Labour paradoxically needed there to be a low turnout of this by-election in order to win it, or do well in it at least. So if turnout is very high, as is being reported by Britain-elects and Tom Harwood, that's not good news for the Labour Party. But it is good news for Reform and the Greens.
I want to add now that I'm not going to get any credit for it this late in the day, because it was a few weeks back I said I thought Reform would win. I had gradually been going, actually, the Greens are doing pretty good.
Audio cut out for some reason.
Me?
For Swiss, anyway.
I can still hear you.
Can you hear me? Can you hear
talking
me?
about
Yeah,
6,
yeah.
7 video.
Well, that's weird. I can't hear him for some reason, but I can hear everybody else.
That's very strange.
Ooh.
But the rest of you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Mhm.
But Tom can't hear me.
Yes.
No. This is strange.
That's really
Don't
strange.
know why this has happened.
Okay.
How many fingers am I holding up, Tom?
How are we gonna get through this?
What?
Can one of you tell Tom that we'll attempt to press ahead with the stream, and some of you might have to translate for me to him?
You know, I've got a whiteboard.
I did not. One of you needs to tell him.
I'm telling him
can't
now.
hear me.
I'm telling him now, Tom.
Strange.
Well, Tom, apparently Swiss is telling us. Oh wait, Tom has left.
He's leaving and then rejoining to see if that does anything.
This is what has happened tonight. Okay, first of all, we have William join us with his
without the Anne
video.
Well, Swiss, I think you're going to have to make a new category for next year's bullet.
I can't hear John.
What do you mean you can't hear John? What's going on?
Right, okay, now the audio's been fixed. I don't know why that happened, but it's been fixed now.
Can you hear me, Tom?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
Right. Let's attempt. Let's attempt to. It's this fucking 6-7 video.
You know, Swiss. I think at this
John's
rate
saying
you're
something
gonna
right
have.
now because I can't hear a word.
Are you being serious?
Yes, I'm literally no word of a doubt.
Okay.
What happened is Dan gave us that news about Gorton and Denton's by-election turnout being super high, and that mean the Greens will win. The NEC is watching the stream. They're furious and are taking out their latest electoral defeat on this stream by shadow banning us.
I'm sure that's true.
Right. You know what?
The NEC parted William.
We can push ahead because the most important thing, not to sound big-headed, the most important thing is that you can all hear me and I can hear all of you.
Okay.
As long as that's working, we can sort our way through the rest of it.
Well, at least 4 out of 5 of you can hear me.
Well, there we are.
But anyway,
John said at least 4 out of 5 of us can hear him. By the way.
Oh, great! Thanks.
So Swiss. So I think at this rate, Swiss, you're going to need to create a new topic for your next Milky Awards as scandal in the stream.
John says I need to create a new topic in the next Milky Awards.
I can't believe you just doxed me, John. I could hear everything you just said.
Oh dear.
I'm joking.
Right. Okay. Anyway.
Right.
Let's progress forward.
Hopefully that'll be the first and only scandal.
Let's push on. Word or phrase of 2025. There were only 2 to choose from. It was 6-7 or AI slop. We didn't even get onto AI slop. We got that sidetracked with 6-7. The winner.
I think
was...
that people know.
Mine didn't even get past the nomination stage. So.
The winner was AI slop. AI slop was the phrase.
Yeah, 100%.
It's just everywhere. Like AI, it is just absolutely everywhere. AI slop is absolutely everywhere. Like, and you'll see people just make the most crap, worthless, derivative stuff from AI, and then you look at it and you think in the back of your mind, this is why you now need to take out a mortgage if you want to build a PC. This is the reason for it now. Why GPUs cost $5,000 to buy because of this nonsense.
You want to know the best one, the best use of our slot? It's got to be "We Are Charlie" anthem.
Oh, I've seen that. That is phenomenal stuff. That's one of the only examples of AI being used for amazingness.
In AI and with AI, it's just we've had the emergence of a complete new genre. Oh no. Dear! Oh no! Oh no!
This is gonna stop.
It's just
we've had saying something right now. We've had the emergence of. I can't hear NA.
Hello.
This is
the only people I can hear now are Swiss and Tom.
This is the Labour NEC is shadow banning us. That is what's happening.
They didn't like my little joke about Burnham. They first of all they put that bloody video on the last stream. Now they're fucking with our audio.
Do you know what, Swiss? I think I need to leave. You know, it's been a great first stream on my debut, but I think I've had an absolute stinker today. But you're going to have to substitute me off for Dan. We'll
because I can't trust it's the real Dan. I don't know who's going to be trying to join the stream.
It's Dan.
It's probably going to be Dan, but yeah.
So I'm going to go.
Honestly,
Thank you for this.
You don't need to go just because we're having technical issues. You are absolutely welcome to be here. It's not your fault, Frank. You haven't cursed it.
You could just try to.
I do actually want to hear what Dan's got to say because he has some interesting stuff. I'm going to head off now.
All right. If you want to head off, that's up to you. But just know that you're welcome to stay if you want. No, thanks for joining us, Frank.
Yeah, thanks.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. Try and rejoin later. Okay,
right.
Frank, if you're listening to the stream, try and rejoin later, I guess.
Right, okay. Let me read a few comments quickly. Let's try and get some semblance of the show being back on the road here. Apollo TD says, this is like chaos with Ed Miliband. Skullman says, Keir Starmer is blocking you all. He says you need to verify your age. That was it. Who hasn't verified their age for this stream here this evening? Psycho Ben said, have I missed the Milkies? Apparently they've been goat-seed.
No, not yet. I don't think there's many more categories left of Milkies yet. So
we've only got a few. Let's just push on and remember, dear guests. Even if you can't hear each other, I can hear all of you. Okay, political moments of the year. We had 4 finalists. We had Gaza, which, to be honest, there was all sorts for Gaza. There were people talking about the ceasefire, people talking about the war, people talking about genocide. I just put it all under the banner of Gaza. The assassination of Charlie Kirk, Angela Rayner resigning, and the results on local election night. Those were our 4 finals.
I feel like if this was a UK only thing, it would probably be the locals. But given the fact that
I'd probably go for local elections results.
So Tom said local, John said local. What about the other 2?
Yeah.
Gaza.
Yeah, I'd say
you're saying Gaza.
Locals.
You're saying locals. All right, 3 votes for locals, 1 vote for Gaza. Let's see. So, in 4th place was Angela Rayner resigning. Hardly any votes for that at all. In 3rd place was the local election night results. In fact.
Oh, that's a surprise.
I was going to say that if it was a UK only thing, be local elections. But given the fact we have some foreign topics, it'll probably be like Gaza or the other thing.
Mandelson, I would think would be one that could have happened.
Well, Mandelson would probably be this year, or Andrew, or maybe both. Or something.
This is the thing we're getting a bit clouded by recency. There was Mandelson stuff last year, but it wasn't the Mandelson stuff we had this year. I've allegedly got Dan trying to join here. I need to believe it is Dan.
Could he say anything in the chat to verify?
Dan? Is it
Dan?
you, Dan? Dan?
Oh no.
No.
I've got my finger primed to click remove the moment I have. Dan, is it you? You need to confirm it's you soon.
Can you hear
Talk
me?
about taking time.
Everyone quiet. Is that you, Dan?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Is that?
Yeah, I had my earphones in, and I couldn't hear any of you.
You don't know how tense I was then. I was so tense. I did not want to have to do
seen our other
3.
guest, Dan?
This, you know what? This could have turned into like some legendary, the lost Swiss Milkies, the Milkies that never were. That only the people there live got to see it because there was no identifiable trace of it on the channel. All right, so 3rd place was local election night. 2nd place was Gaza. Winning with 50% of the vote was the assassination of Charlie Kirk. That was the political moment of the year 2025. Excuse me. Bittersweet says, by the way, if only there was some kind of digital identification system.
Well, as Swiss, I'll probably say, I suppose the reason Charlie Kirk thing is because when that happened, the American right went completely ballistic, I guess. So I think that's probably why it became.
It was. I think personally, I probably would have of those four. I did vote. I probably voted for Gaza of those four.
Yeah,
but I can understand Charlie Kirk being a very big thing. Definitely.
Yeah, I think perhaps Gaza's happened for a while now. That I guess it's sort of waned, and the fact that there seems to be at least some form of ceasefire at the very least. Even though it's a bit shaky from my understanding, but yeah, that might be why.
It's one of the many wars that Donald Trump has ended, don't you know?
Indeed.
Yeah. But I will be honest, Charlie Kirk, I never even heard of the guy until South Park did an episode basically about him, which unfortunately was pulled off the air for the week he was killed, even though I think someone in his family or supporters or friends said that he would have had the episode pretty on still. But of course, you could probably see why at least the studios did not want the episode on, at least even the South Park would have done it regardless. But yeah. And I think I even mentioned how South Park, some blame South Park for the death, but yeah.
It's one of the, it was a, I mean, I don't want to wade headfirst into this because this is a thing I only really touched on at the time it happened. I've hardly discussed it since, but there was a huge response to it, and a lot politically was made out of it on both sides. You had people sort of like, you know, having him as a sort of a martyr and lionizing him as sort of like the, you know, someone who'd been shot down for the things that he believed. You had obviously his detractors being rather uncouth in the wake of him dying because they didn't like the things that he stood for and believed in. And then that in turn, you just had a lot of back and forth of people being very, very riled up by it, especially in the States, but some of it bled over here. I didn't particularly want to touch it that closely simply because I saw it as being an absolute quagmire that I didn't really want to get involved in. But of course, what I would always say is that let's not assassinate people, generally speaking, for their politics. You know, that's probably fair enough.
There's always a huge debate on whether or not the assassin was a lefty or a right winger. But yeah, so there's also that as well.
By the way, sorry to add to the audio issues, but now I can't hear what John is saying.
I am going to push on with the show, okay?
Does anyone else experience this in everyday life? Because, like, a lot of people that I've come across who aren't political at all, they'll, if anything is mentioned to do with like Trump getting assassinated, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, I wouldn't mind if that happened," or "Yeah, that would be good," sort of thing. And I'm like, "Wow, is that the stage we've got to?"
The thing is,
to be honest, as bad as it is, I'm not particularly surprised it's happened. Political discourse for the past 10 years has only been getting more and more and more and more toxified. And I think the US at this point is probably at the absolute peak of toxic political debate.
I can understand with people in the US. I just mean people here in the UK that are.
To be fair, when Margaret Thatcher died,
but it's a similar sort of thing. Like, I think the reason why it's happening is because there is enormous discontent and tumult amongst all of these populaces. They're all angry, they're all furious because of economic issues, social issues, and political issues. They don't know how to respond to it because the political process has largely locked them out of any of these decision makings. And so they feel that this is the way to outlet all of that. This is unfortunately what does happen in countries which are either undemocratic or anti-democratic, is that their politics is increasingly, over time, as things get worse in those countries, their politics is increasingly defined by violence. Because the reason for it is because when all avenues of political debate and political process, when people in the country are locked out of the political process, they tend to become very, very agitated when things go wrong.
Okay, can I now? Okay, I'm just going to say, even though, yes, you probably have more people calling for deaths and stuff, but it should be noted that in 2013, when Margaret Thatcher died, you did have half the country sing "Ding Dong, the Witch is Dead." So there's always like going to be.
I'm afraid I can't hear what you're saying, John. Unfortunately.
John basically made the point that with us talking about people
And now
calling
I
for other
can't hear
people's-
Swiss either.
and you can't hear me either. You can't hear me either. Oh my god! Right,
Starmer's trying to take this stream out.
I can't do
What
this.
is going on?
I just want to
Like,
host.
I don't get it.
I just want to host a humble awards show, a simple awards show on the internet for some friends, and it's not happening.
Can you hear? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you.
I can hear
Pterodax.
Yeah,
I can hear NA, and I can hear Dan, but I cannot hear Swiss, and I cannot hear John.
Okay, right. Okay.
Yeah, John was saying about
I need people who can. I need someone who can hear me to tell
When Thatcher was the when
Tom
died. All right, okay.
that I can hear all of you.
Yeah, that's another example of it as well.
Yeah, and Swiss says he can hear all of us.
When I joined, I couldn't hear any of you, and then I unplugged my earphones, and I can hear all of you.
I need to push on.
I don't even have earphones in.
On.
That's the issue.
Tom, I know you can't hear me, but you can see me. I need to push on with the stream, okay? So I wish I knew British Sign Language. If we all knew British Sign Language, this would be a much easier time. I know. Thank you. That's about it. Thank you. Hello.
Yeah, but we'd all have to come on camera and identify ourselves.
Oh shit! Yeah, that doesn't work, does it? Right. Okay.
If only we could put subtitles in our own little boxes.
I'm pushing on. Okay, I'm pushing on. Biggest loser of 2025. Okay, and once I've said this, one of you can repeat it for Tom. Biggest loser of 2025. The 4 finalists were Keir Starmer, Your Party, British Public, Humanity. Someone say that to Tom for me.
Tom, the biggest loser. The biggest loser of the year, Your Party, Starmer, the Public, and Humanity.
I'd probably say Humanity.
I would probably say Keir Starmer just because people hate Keir Starmer.
The British public.
Yeah, British public.
Yeah, I
quite happy if I was
voted the
Chinese
Public,
right
but
now.
I would have voted Humanity if I missed that. I don't know.
Okay, right. I'm going to enunciate with my lips here. Maybe you can lip read my lips, Tom.
No, I can't.
What do you mean? No, you can't.
Well, I heard someone say something, but I don't know what it is at this point. Right, let me try and rejoin to see if this does anything. Because this is disastrous. Right.
We love Keir Starmer and we apologise.
This is when one of the viewers comments and they go, "Yeah, I've only been able to hear Swiss for the past 5 minutes.
Let's
I
try
can't hear
again
any of
for
the
the third
guests."
time.
Imagine if you just subscribed to this channel. Like, what is going on?
Oh, look at this well-established, long-running political commentary channel that's been around for 9 bloody years. I can't even get a stream to work.
Well, Swiss, look at it this way. This is going to be your most chaotic stream of the year.
Oh, this stream is going to win a Milky in the bloody 2026 Milky.
I suppose this is what happens when you try to make 2 topics for one stream, I guess.
We've not even got onto the by-election yet. I've got things to do.
The polls will have closed
You've got
by the
Pokemon
time.
videos to do.
The polls will have closed.
Okay, I'm gonna continue on, and we'll hope that when Tom rejoins, we can all hear one another. Okay, Bittersweet says we're all veterans. We know what's up. Yeah, the OGs remember Robo Swiss. Okay, so in 4th place, biggest loser of 2025 was Your Party. So definitely the non-entities there, because they came 4th in the only other thing that they were nominated for.
They lost
Tom,
in biggest loser of the year.
Can you hear me, Tom?
Yes, I can, at least for now,
Thank
anyway.
goodness. Right, okay. I'm going.
Yes.
Oh, let's not play this game again. Let's just assume we can all hear each other for now until
It's like
something
Chinese
proves us
whispers.
wrong.
Hey, who turned out the lights?
I like the reference there. Well done. Okay. 4th place was your party. 3rd place was the British public. I'm so pleased the British public did not win again because they win all the time, and I'm bored of it. They're so tired of winning. They said no more winning. We can't win anymore. 2nd place was humanity, which means the biggest loser of 2025 was Keir Starmer.
Knew it. I knew that your audience hated Keir Starmer that much that they would put him as number 1.
You know what the best thing is, though, right? Okay, left-wing bias, right-wing bias, centrist bias, whatever makeup my audience is these days, it doesn't actually have to factor because the whole country hates Keir Starmer. So it was always going to be Keir Starmer, one way or another.
Keir Starmer has broken the British public's record, Swiss.
This is the only win
and it's because of Keir Starmer.
This is the only thing that he's ever won.
He's won biggest loser of 2025 and worst politician of 2025. So congratulations, Keir. That might be
it's all his own fault. It's all his own fault.
Yeah, just another day in the life for him at this point.
He is the reason the British public are big losers, so entirely deserved.
Yeah, that's true.
We're on to the final 2 that all of you care about because it involves the dear viewers of the channel. Okay.
Oh.
And so to change things up a little bit, I'm going to do stream guest first, and then we'll make the final one the side chatter because there's more people in contention for side chatter. So the dear viewers will be more on the edge of their seats. Stream guest of the year 2025. In the end, it came down to Tom and John. Tom and John, you were the only ones who received at least 2 nominations or more each. We did have other people, but they only received 1, and I wanted to make it very direct.
If I had to guess, it's because me and Tom are the only 2 recurring guest judges for a limited time on streaming, particularly like locals and all that.
Yeah, I mean, you by far are the 2 that appear most regularly anyway. Now, I think last year, did you win, Tom? Is that correct?
I believe so, yeah. It was either me or John.
Well, of course it was either you or John. Who else was it going to be?
It was Tom. I believe I came... I think you had like platinum, gold, silver, and bronze. I got silver. I said, okay, maybe this year I'd get the gold. And the year after I get the platinum.
All right, so for 2025, Tom and John, are you ready?
Yep.
I can reveal that the winner of Stream Guest of the Year is Tom for a 2nd year running.
Yeah, I'm not.
Congratulations.
Oh my.
Little round of applause there. And John, I would say you've picked up the silver, but actually, since there was only the 2 of you, you've picked up the gold because Tom got the platinum.
Yeah.
So you can have a gold and a silver in your trophy now. There we go.
Yeah, I have to see if I can get the platinum next year.
It could happen. It could happen. I mean, you know what, though? How bloody populated the stream has been, we might actually get a wider field this year.
Who knows? I mean, to be fair, I have started... Next year? I'm not sure if you noticed, Swiss, but I have started doing my own streams on political discussions while you've been away.
Have you?
Oh, yeah. He has been, because I've been in 2 of them that he's done. Recently.
Oh, right. Link that in bullet when we get off there because I want to check out that channel because I've not seen that. Yeah,
it's because I believe I sent you those YouTube videos in your own private chat, but yeah, I've basically covered when Andy Burnham was blocked, and then and around the week of when Starmer's possible downfall when Morgan McSweeney was signed, and the Japanese election.
Oh, fantastic. Well, I'm pleased the weight's not all on my shoulders. You know what? But way, years back when I was doing this stuff a lot more regularly, it was my dream that we'd have like a big network of lots of different people doing political content streams and, everyone could go to all different channels and stuff. John, will you send me a link to your channel on Twitter now and I will plug it here for the viewers before the end of the stream?
Sure.
Fantastic.
I'd be down for joining that as well, John, if you ever wanted me on, because I follow Japanese politics for a long time, quite closely.
I'm sure, though. Granted, we mostly covered that one for the election, but who knows? We might see. depending on the topic, we might bring it up again for maybe possibly with the monarchy crisis or something.
Oh, that's interesting because I follow it as well. Oh, it's one of my specialty subjects.
Yeah.
Well, dear viewers, this is a treat for you now then, because if you miss me in my long absences when I'm away and you're not getting your political content streams that you want, you might get some Swiss regulars over on John's channel. So there we are. You just don't usurp me, John. Okay?
Oh, no. I'm only doing the streams when you're not around. And since you've done a stream pre-by-election, and I assume you're going to do a stream post-by-election. Actually, I probably won't need to do it at the moment, but yeah.
No, that's fine. Listen. You stream as much or as often or as frequently as you like, with as many people as want to come on. I'm more than happy for you to be doing what you're doing. Okay. Right. Psychoben says you used to have a network, Swiss, but the two other streamers ended up being schizos. I'm going to leave that one in the air. Let's not go any further. Right. Okay. So. We are now on to the final award of the night, guys. This is the Annabelle Clark Side Chatter of the Year Award 2025. No. Did any of you see that message just then?
No.
No.
All right, I did. William has entered the studio.
Oh.
William is waiting
Kick
in
him
the
out.
wings here.
Kick him out.
Don't
Kick
worry.
him out.
Don't worry. I've not put William in.
How'd they get the link?
Because I posted it in the chat to get NA in here. It's fine, okay? It's fine. Nothing bad's going to happen. We're full up. Don't worry. Okay, so the Annabelle Clark Side Chatter of the Year Award 2025. And for any new viewers to the channel, and I imagine there is one or two of you that walk in a year, Annabelle Clark, better known as Angels, was one of the regulars that we had on this channel for quite a few years in the earlier years of me doing this, and she sadly passed away during the COVID pandemic. So we named the Side Chatter of the Year award after her because she was always a very good advocate for reminding me to read the comments when I was doing the live streams, which I'd often neglect, and we do all miss her. She was a Lib Dem, but we can look past such things. Angels, this is your award. Let's see who we've got here. So, the Annabelle Clark Side Chatter of the Year 2025. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh my God, 8 nominated finalists here. This is like a roll call of basically half the viewers at this point. There was Dr. Richmond Awesome in Bed, Random Quotes, Cameron, Frank, Pterodax, Apollo TD, Lee Hallam, Claire King. And I think we're fortunate enough to be in the presence of most of these people, either here in the stream or indeed in the chat on the side as well. So there we are. Lee has popped in. Hello, everyone. Lee Hallam, hello there. And people giving some lovely messages for Angels there as well. Okay, guys. So now in true form, was it NA who had said to me that they were disappointed that they were nominated one year but then didn't get any votes in the final or something? Like they got one nomination but zero.
Yeah,
votes.
I was nominated last time and then I got 0 votes. This time 0 nominations. I was just having a laugh about it.
All right. Well. Just to put that in context, though, if it makes you feel any better, we had 8 finalists, and only 5 of those finalists have received votes. So once again, there have been people who were nominated that did not then get a further vote. But there we are. So, but that just adds all the more suspense. You don't even know if you're in the top 5 or not. We're just gonna have to find out. Okay, so in 5th place is Cameron. In 4th place, oh no, shit, it's joint 4th place. Oh, I suppose it's joint 3rd place then. Joint 3rd place is Random Quotes and Lee Hallam. I need to give some honourable mentions here then to the ones that didn't get any votes in the final stage, unfortunately, just so we're not falsely getting your hopes up for the final ones. So Claire King, I'm afraid it's not been you this year. Pterodax, I'm afraid it's not been you either. Apollo TD, I'm afraid it's not been you, but I love you all nonetheless.
Well, I think
This
to
is
a
like
certain
not
commentary on
getting
these
chosen.
ones, to be fair, Claire King seemed to have Claire King has sort of vanished. Dan occasionally gets onto your YouTube channel and talks, and Pterodax, I think, has been a bit absent for a while. So
Yeah, I'm in and out.
I'm just being transparent here. So the winner of the Annabelle Clark Side Chat of the Year 2025 is either going to be Frank or Dr. Richmond Awesome in Bed. It's going to be one of you two. And the winner of Side Chat of the Year 2025 is, with 35% of the votes out of 8 finalists, Dr. Richmond Awesome in Bed. Congratulations, Dr. Richmond Awesome in Bed.
I'm pretty certain he got that win just for the name alone.
Oh, I've got to give it to Dr. Richmond Awesome in Bed. He's here frequently. It doesn't matter what kind of stream I'm doing, whether it's political or Pokemon or God knows what else. He's usually there, and he's usually typing some bullshit.
Swiss, did you say,
or another,
did you say 35%?
35%, yes.
Are we sure this isn't Keir Starmer in disguise?
Well, the most important thing is that we deliver. We deliver for the British people. And deliver for, I don't know where that's going, to be honest.
Well,
I didn't have an idea.
Keir did win a national election on 35%.
Well, what you don't know is that Dr. Richmond Awesome in Bed has indeed won on 35%, and it has delivered him a stonking 410 MPs in the House of Commons. So,
anyway, Swiss, I should point out, I have sent the link to my channel.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you, John. Right, let me just look at that quickly then. So, have I got this? Where have you sent the link? Did you put it in Bullet?
I've put in both Bullet and your private message chat.
Okay, thank you. Oh, my Twitter's not updating. How annoying. Let me refresh it quickly, see if that. Right, don't worry. I've just looked into where you messaged me before, John, and I've seen the link to when you'd sent me the video a little while ago.
Yeah.
So I've got that. It's at John Cooper 2815. That's right, isn't it? Right. So I'll post that in the chat for you, and I'll also stick that link in the description as well once we get finished here today. So, guys, long-time contributor to the channel and friend of the channel, John Cooper, has his own YouTube channel, and indeed he has been hosting some. Trust me to be around enough these days. So please, if you enjoy the friends of Captain Swiss discussing politics, then go subscribe to John Cooper's channel, and you will be able to hear more of good old political commentary on things happening even when I'm not about. So I've just posted that in the comments there. So congratulations to Tom and Dr. Richmond Awesome in Bed, our two big winners of the Milkies here for guests and side chatter. But of course, we've had plenty of others here in the mix, and you know that I value all of you as long as your name isn't William. Thank you.
William is now going to be a tribal name in the Swiss law of politics.
Yes,
it's going to be a cryptid.
Unless maybe you're talking about Prince William.
Yes, that's that would be a great twist, wouldn't it? It was Prince William who came along and did this.
Prince William is no Andrew.
Well, we're all deeply concerned about what we've heard about Andrew. We're all deeply, deeply concerned, deeply troubled by the things going on right now. I don't know if that's meant to be Charles or what, but there we are. Okay, so we're finally done with the Milkies. Hurrah! We got there in the end. Yes, it's the end of February, but we got there in the end. Good stuff. I think, by the way, that this numerically was the 10th Milky Awards that have occurred.
And probably by far the most chaotic.
Yeah, by far the most chaotic. And the ones coming up at the end of this year will be, it will mark the 10th anniversary of when the first Milkies were, which will therefore mean that this year is the anniversary year of this YouTube. Wait, is it? No, maybe next year. Shit. Never.
2018, I think you started, right?
Oh no, I think it was 2017 because the general election was in 2017.
Oh yeah, 2017.
Wasn't it? And I think there was an earlier video in 2016 in response to Brexit, which I did. So I think we're coming up on a solid decade of Captain Swiss at this point.
I think I have memories of you reacting to a very early video of yours on one of your previous streams.
Yes, I thought I probably did do that. I have spoken about becoming the snake that eats its own tail, and just at this point, because so many of my old videos are stuck to like private and unlisted now, because I just simply don't trust myself of what I've said 10 years in the past that I hardly remember.
10 years since the referendum. 10 years since the referendum this year.
Exactly. So what I've thought about doing is over time I'll gradually unblock some of these archived videos and react to my own videos and then put them out there for people to see.
Yeah.
As long as I'm not saying anything too terrible or unwise in them.
Hopefully we all haven't said anything racist or sexist at the very least.
I'm a very well-behaved man. I would never say such a thing.
You know what you could do for the next one? Have, like pints of milk, have like 1 pint for third place and wrap a banner or ribbon around it, and then 2 pints for second place, and then 4 pints for first place.
And a whole
like gallon jug or whatever. Like,
and then
you win first place, 4 pints.
And then have the Farron Award for year-on-year winners.
Oh,
just keep the milk, just leave it to sell.
Yeah.
That's, you know what, I do need to do something Tim Farron related to sort of mark the proper Milky anniversary coming up this year, next year, whenever it is, the 10 years of the channel.
Well, Tim Farron's become kind of quite the non-entity, to be honest.
He has, but in fairness to him, his claim to fame was being the leader of the Liberal Democrats. And that was some time ago. So it's fair enough he's gone into obscurity since. All right, we're done with the Milkies for the time being. Then let's move on to the red meat politically of today, which is the by-election in Manchester Gorton and Denton. Is that the constituency?
Yeah.
Gorton and Denton. Now, from what I understand, it is a new constituency that was first contested in the 2024 general election. It's a little bit of a Frankenstein. It's got quite a sort of a mix in it of sort of like your traditional Labour working class that you might be veering towards reform, and then your more sort of ethnically diverse and student population area, which should be much more likely to end up going for the Greens. So you've got different areas that it would make sense for where the Labour vote is splitting off in different directions potentially. Now, as I've already said, I'd said a few weeks ago I thought Reform were going to win it. That was on the basis of knowing that Reform were doing well and they came second last time round. Obviously, though, the Greens did come third last time around, and indeed in fourth place was Galloway's Workers' Party, who chose not to stand this time around, and it's a fair assumption that more of their voters will probably go to the Greens than any other.
Galloway did endorse the Greens.
And Galloway endorsed the Greens. Corbyn endorsed the Greens. You've got basically everyone on the left endorsing the Greens for this one.
Apart from Alistair Campbell, if I recall.
Oh, that famous lefty Alistair Campbell.
I mean, he's almost like the odd one out, isn't he?
And not Vince Cable, back Labour as well, I think.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, he endorsed Labour.
Well, I mean, it's less of a wasted vote in that seat than the Lib Dems, I suppose. I say this as a man who voted Lib Dem in the last general election. There we are. Right, I'm going to bring up the Wikipedia page for the by-election here. So I suppose I should say this. I'll put this to the whole panel. The way it's shaping up at the moment, everyone seems to be saying it's now a 3-horse race. It looks like it's going to be very, very tight between Reform, Labour and the Greens. We're hearing through the grapevine maybe the Greens have got it. If I had to put some money on someone at this late stage in the day, I would say the Greens have got it, but I want to hear from each of you. So I'll come to our Milky Award winner first of all. Tom, who do you think is winning this by-election tonight? and Tom is not here, so I'm going to go over to Mr. John Cooper. Who do you think is winning this by-election tonight?
Well, Swiss, I've been in many, as you can see with the stream I did with Tom, I did discussions about the Batley and Spen by-election. But that was when, of course, Andy Burnham tried to become a candidate and was blocked. We concluded that once Burnham was blocked and couldn't become an MP and all that stuff, Labour was not going to win it because that would cause faction fighting, of course, which it did. Though that looked pretty much tame after the stuff with Peter Mandelson and all that. See, that came afterwards, but yeah. So we pretty much concluded it was either going to be the Greens or Reform. I think there was a talk about Reform having a little bit of the edge. I'm not sure, but I did think that ideally the Greens would more likely, if the seat was more Labour, it probably might more go to a more left-wing approach as a sort of anti-Keir Starmer, anti-Labour right agenda. As it would be a hint from be a hint from the Labour Party that your voters don't want you to try and turn more right, go more left, if you will. And I felt this more of like wanted the Greens to personally win the moment I found out that Matt Goodwin was the Reform candidate.
That's academic turned journalist turned. See, the pipeline's normally the other way. Normally, you get right-wing members of parliament, and then they go and host GB News. And this time, we had a GB News presenter trying to become a member of parliament.
Yes. And I do think the Green candidate does have an advantage of actually being from the local area, where Matt Goodwin is, well, not from the area, and I believe the Labour candidate is from Greece.
Well, she can be Greek if she wants. We're not saying anything against the Greeks here.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily saying that that's being a bad thing, but she's from Greece and isn't really local, from my understanding.
Well, as long as she doesn't admit to smoking marijuana 36 years ago, then as Yanis Varoufakis has found out,
or going through fields of wheat.
But yeah, but I have a feeling if it's more local and more left-wing voters turn out, I'd say the Greens would win it. If not, it's the Reform will win it, but only because Labour tried so hard to split the vote or try to say, oh no, we're the ones to contest, an attempt to, as I think Tom might have mentioned, the Labour would rather lose to Reform than let the Greens win, even though I think that could double backfire, because if the Greens turn out to be, if it's a neck and neck between Reform and the Greens come in second, people will probably realise, okay, so instead of Labour, we should have voted for the Greens, and that might happen in more future by-elections and other elections. Or if the Greens do end up winning, it will make Labour look more foolish than they already do and all that stuff. But either way, Labour's screwed.
It is going to be indicative, isn't it? It's going to be very interesting which side is going to be able to argue, you voted Labour and you let Reform in, you should have voted for the Greens, or you voted Green and you let Reform in, you should have voted for Labour, or just who is the choice in that kind of a seat. Lee Hallam in the chat has added, the Green isn't local, she lives in Hale. How far away is Hale from where we're discussing here, guys?
It's still in Greater Manchester, so it's not a million miles away.
It's on the other side of the city, yeah.
It's closer than, for example, Greece.
Hertfordshire, where Goodwin's from, it's much closer.
Yeah, the only thing is she's running.
And she's actually from Greater Manchester, so
yeah, she's still on the slate for the Greens in her Trafford ward in May if she doesn't win this by-election. She's been selected as a Green candidate elsewhere. So
okay, right. Does anyone else want to weigh in on what way they think this by-election is going? Then
I think that it's fairly convincing. It's convincingly going to be won by the Greens. It's as we were going into the by-election, I thought that Reform was going to win it, and it was probably going to be a two-horse race between Andy Burnham as a Labour candidate and whoever Reform picked. However, with Andy Burnham getting blocked and Reform selecting Matt Goodwin, I do believe that this shifted the likelihood convincingly over to the Greens winning it. In fact, I do believe that the Greens probably will have somewhere in the upper 30s if the grapevine of it being like Caerphilly is to be believed.
And Caerphilly, which we're referencing here, this was sort of an anti-reform vote, which in that case coalesced around Clyde. And we're saying in this case it would end up being the Greens taking up that mandate.
Yes, I believe that Reform shot themselves in the foot by selecting Matt Goodwin, because he just doesn't. He comes across as just another dishonest politician, the way that he carries himself. And
does anyone else want to come in? Does anyone not think it's going to be the Greens? Maybe that's worth asking.
I think that it's ultimately a case of how much does Labour split the Green Party's vote. If they split it enough, because their vote holds up with older people, then Reform could end up coming through the middle and just about winning it. But that's really the only path to victory I see for Reform, that they end up winning because of a split vote. But I think the likelihood is the Greens end up winning it, Reform come a very close second, and Labour comes a pretty solid third.
I think it. I mean, I don't feel I'm saying anything special here, but I think it's going to be very interesting to see just how close first place and third place are from one another in this, because everything I'm hearing is that it's going to be a sort of photo finish between the three of them. Lee Hallam says Reform will be happier losing to the Greens than Labour. Beating Labour matters most to them. Lee Ball says, gonna stick my neck out and say Reform snatches it. The flag shaggers will turn out in droves to stop the perceived commie. And we've got some endorsements here. Advance UK has been endorsed by Tommy Robinson. Labour Party has been endorsed by the Alliance for Workers Libertary. What? A Communist Party? Okay, yeah. A Communist Party has endorsed Labour. And Vince Cable, interesting bedfellows. Reform UK, also endorsed by Tommy Robinson. Green Party.
The Alliance.
It should be noticed that Reform and Goodwin did reject the endorsement.
Well, you can disown and reject an endorsement, of course. I mean, yes, you know, it's not. It's just people saying who they think people should vote for, but it also
regarding the Alliance for Workers' Liberty. That's because. Sorry, can you still hear me, Swiss?
Yes, I can still hear you.
Yeah, that's because the Alliance for Workers' Liberty is still like an infiltration unit to go into the Labour Party. That's why.
Oh, okay. Now, this is the thing. You know, I here's me going, Tommy Robinson endorsing Reform UK, ho ho ho. But then again, you have had George Galloway endorsing the Greens, and you know. Galloway's
the reason for
that was a very last minute one, to be fair.
Yeah, the reason for the AWL endorsing Labour is because they still cling on to the false hope that they can infiltrate Labour and turn it communist, which, well, good luck with that considering who their leadership is at the moment. But yeah, that's the reason for it, because they're still essentially trying the entryist strategy.
They need to fucking get in line, because you've got to turn the party bloody socialist before you can turn it communist.
Well, you've got to turn it social democratic first.
Or even just make it social democratic.
You've got to turn it soft left before anything else.
Yeah. Or even just make it social democrat.
The leader does all his best to
help even moderate this. Heck, even moderate at this point.
And the Green Party has been endorsed by a basket of deplorables of various left-wing and Muslim ilk. Jeremy Corbyn, George Galloway, the Morning Star, the Muslim Vote, Socialist Worker, Zara Sultana, and Salma Yaqub. And Rejoin the EU has been endorsed by Volt UK, an anti-Brexit political party. So there we are, rejoiners. You're in the mix as well. What I wanted to scroll down to, guys, was just some opinion polling that had been done in the constituency. We had 3 polls done. Now, it's worth saying, on the one hand, the sample size of these polls is pretty small, but then again, it's also not a countrywide poll. It is a constituency poll, but keeping all of those things in mind, we had a poll from Find Out Now, which was done in the back end of January, that had Reform out in front on 36%, Labour on 33%, and the Greens on 21%.
If you hover over that little H thing next to 143, it'll tell you how many actually responded to that, because it was much less.
Oh, excluding those who would not vote or answer don't know, there were 51 respondents who gave an answer.
Yeah, so that shows how pathetic it was.
Okay, yeah, let's just discount that one altogether, shall we?
Yeah, it was it was a joke poll. It was just way too few people to even make anything of it.
We had Omnisis did some polling in mid-February. This is one that had the Greens out in front by 4 points on 33%. And excluding those who said don't know, there were 271 respondents who gave an answer. That's a little bit healthier, I suppose. And then we also had one by opinion, which had Labour tied with the Greens as well. So just glancing at these polls, generally speaking, looking fairly healthy for the Greens as far as the poll is concerned. You know, they're not out by a mile, but certainly if the feeling going into this by-election is, it's going to be pretty close, but maybe the Greens will edge it. Polling appears to reflect that as well. I think, who is it? Someone can tell me. Ben Walker, New Statesman. What's the polling organisation he does? Britain Elects. Is it Britain Elects? Britain Elects, yes. I think they did a forecast that they published within the past day or so, and they've done a few margins of where the parties might come out in those. Is someone furiously Googling that now? Because I can see, I can hear typing on the keyboard there. I'll bring it up as well. I'll do the Britain Elects forecast because I trust Ben Walker to know his stuff fairly well. He's like a young John Curtis. In a sense,
he did, as Tom can attest to, he did very badly get Labour's local council elections wrong last year. Prediction.
Well, then he's not a young John Curtis. I take it all back. I didn't mean any of it.
I shall have to be headed off, so I shall see you later. It was nice joining the stream.
No problem at all. Thank you very much for joining us.
Yep. And that's maybe Frank and John afterwards, but yeah.
Yeah. So see you later.
Whatever happens, don't let William in. See you later.
Don't let William in, no. Anyway, see you later.
See you later. That's going to be our new code word for just any unfavourable person who might try and make their way on the stream. There'll be a William from now on. The Billies are trying to get in. Right, I'm just going on Britain Elects here, and they've got a mapper. Oh, okay, this is the one I was looking for. The Britain predicts final forecast for Gorton Denton, complete with ranges. And they've got the Greens on 31% with a range of 25 to 38%. Reform on 30% with a range of 30 to 33%. So they're a lot more specific with Reform than the others. And Labour, which makes enough sense, I guess, because it's kind of who are the lefties going to vote for, Greens or Labour. And Labour 29% with a margin between 22% and 34%. So within that range, as you can all tell, theoretically, any of them could take it. But just about edging ahead here, they're saying it's the Greens. But it really is a photo finish. And yes, I did just read that off of the image there. Because as far as they're putting it, they're literally having them all within a couple of points of each other. So it could be anyone's by-election, really. I'm going to say with a confidence of about 60 to 65%, I think it will be the Greens that take it. That's about a 2/3 chance, I guess, in my head. That's the best I can probably say for it.
Do people really think the Tories are going to get 4%?
I could see them just about falling shy of the deposit. Do you mean that as in you think the Tories would get far less? Or...
Yeah.
Really? Yeah. I think 4% is reasonable enough. Maybe at the absolute lowest, it could be like 2%. But
I was thinking more 2 to 3-ish. Yeah.
Really? Oh, well.
Because I think there'll be like, I think the Reform might max out their vote from the Tories. That might be the only thing. And I think the Lib Dems might go down another 1 or 2 from that through as well.
Yeah. I could definitely see the Lib Dems like going lower than 3%. I think personally, I think the Tories on 4% is probably around about the margin, but I could stand to be proven wrong there. Just because in my head, I can see them sort of just falling shy of keeping their deposit fitting. You know, I could feel that fitting with the narrative of the night. But there we are. I'll read a few more comments quickly as well. Object says, evening, mildly exciting by-election night. Hope all is well. What happened to the first bit of the stream? Someone said something YouTube didn't like. Oh.
Only it was that.
if only it was that, yeah. I threw a link to join into the chat, and I foolishly welcomed someone who I didn't recognize, and within moments, they were posting age inappropriate material. So I don't even want to physically describe what it was. All I can say is that it was not appropriate, and it was something that no one ever wants to see again.
Let's just say it's something like you would see an early Family Guy joke reacting to.
It was late 2000s internet era shock video type stuff. I'll say no more than that.
Yeah,
it's what we do every day, but nobody wants to see.
Out of curiosity,
speak for yourself.
No, I didn't mean in front of a freaking cat. No, you know what I mean. I meant going to the toilet, for fuck's sake.
Right. Let's
move topic.
Push on, as we say. Yeah, I might have misinterpreted that and took it a little bit too literally, as what the Never mind. Anyway, let me read some more comments. Let's go back to the comments, shall we? But the bait knock bounce, says Lee Ball. It will go lower, says Skullman. Bittersweet says, shame, as the Liberal Democrat candidate did sound sensible. The Tory candidate was proud of knowing what a woman was. Congratulations, you passed sex ed. Knowing what a woman is, come on, that's so 2023. Rejoin UK, rejoin UK, rejoin EU. This is a mess. I need to go soon. Rejoin EU over or under 100 votes. I'm going to say under. Because I think that this is a by-election where it's all to play for. People are really going to be trying to bunch behind one of these main three parties that could take it. I think everyone's going to get seriously squeezed. And if you're Rejoin EU, which is a minor party, you're going to get pennies of votes.
Will they get more than the Communist Party?
Probably.
Oh, now that's a good question. Will they get more than the Communist Party? I'm gonna. Yeah. See, on the face of it, I'd say this is the thing. On the face of it, I'd say yes, they would, because I just imagine the Communist Party to be absolutely nowhere. The one thing that has me thinking otherwise is that Galloway's Workers' Party had such a big presence there in the general election last year, and if there are any of the voters for that party that, for whatever reason, can't stomach going green, maybe some hardcore commies is their kind of thing. I don't know.
The two reasons I was thinking is because Rejoin have actually polled at least 1% in a couple of polls, whereas communists either haven't registered or they got 0. And
that's
also,
a fair point.
The Communist League, from what I've read, is fairly pro-Israel, and you don't get many communists that are pro-Israel. It's like the one communist party pro-Israel.
Say no more. Say no more. I don't think the pro-Israel Communist Party is going to get many votes from Galloway's Workers.
Yeah. I also say probably the Rejoin EU thing is probably a more popular, fringe, protest party, if you will, just because of the whole, FBE types that would want to, vote for Rejoin, whatever gets them back in the EU.
I mean, the Lib Dems are right there. You can vote for the Lib Dems if you want to, but then again, the Lib Dems have gone soft.
Why are they taking part? Why are they taking part? Honestly,
what Rejoin EU or the Lib Dems?
No, the Lib Dems. I mean, I can understand if you're Rejoin because you want to get your name out, but Lib Dems. Right?
Well, you know, I mean, because
The Lib Dems actually used to have a lot of councillors like around there. They don't anymore, not since the coalition. But
you know what? Talking about the Lib Dems used to having a lot of councillors is a bit like talking about when all of this used to be fields. Before all of the buildings came in, you go, all of this used to be fields once upon a time. The Lib Dems had councillors way back when. It's something that you can just about imagine, but you just can't quite see it. But yeah.
I was just going to say, if I was like reformed now, I'd be quite worried that there's the SDP, Advance, and the Libertarian Party standing. That could be a couple. That could be 1,000 votes or more.
It will shave a little bit off of them.
Yeah.
But I think probably in this kind of a situation, those smaller parties being present are still probably going to be squeezed towards reform just by the nature of their voters probably thinking, reform's in with a chance, and it could be really tight between them and the others. I'm imagining it will be the smaller party votes getting squeezed towards reform rather than reform votes getting dispersed out to those minor other parties on the ballot. But I do see the point you're making. The fact that they're there still poses a problem for them.
Oh yeah.
Right, guys, the polls close in just under 2 minutes, says Enticing in the chat here. Lee Hallam also adds, in the poll, Galloway 2024 voters are more likely to vote Green than 2024 Greens. Well, that's something. Bittersweet says, my nan used to be a Lib Dem councillor. Object of Hate says it's about the only policy along with Shagos that they're forcing through no matter what. What was the first one that you said there? Sorry. The current Labour government seems hell-bent on rejoining the EU. Who needs the Lib Dems or rejoin the EU? I mean, I don't know. I couldn't see them trying to rejoin the EU in this parliament. But I can certainly see them warming up to the idea of a closer relationship with them, maybe customs union type thing, something like that. That doesn't seem off the cards to me. But full-fledged rejoining of the EU, I think, is too much of a millstone around their neck to want to attempt anytime soon. Leibel says, finally, the end is in sight for the Purda rules. Oh, thank goodness, because we've been following Purda so closely here in the coverage on this channel so far.
I wonder if there can be any quotes now. The polls have, any insiders from the parties saying, now the polls have closed, saying what they think is going to happen.
You know what? That should probably be the thing that we look out for before I finish the stream, then, because I was approaching the point where I was going to finish things off. That no, that's a good shout. Now that the polls have closed as of a minute ago, let's just have a little look, sort of on social media and that, whether there's a.
Did you see the night before Labour sent out a load of leaflets to people in the constituency saying a tactical voting company had said vote Labour, but there's no evidence that it even exists.
That sounds like the sort of thing they'd do.
Well, they've basically become the Lib Dems in this tactic.
Yeah, because they got a bar chart and they completely cropped the Greens out. They just left Reform and Labour in. That one you saw before where it was like 27, 28, 27.
There is one quote. CCHQ are chipper that Susan Hall is going to win Gorton and Denton tonight.
Oh, well, if they're chipper, then, deal's been sealed.
Yeah, but it's interesting because if the Greens do win this would be their first by-election win, and this would arguably not only secure Zach Polanski's position as probably a leader for probably at least until probably the next general election. I think it also add more momentum to the Greens with those maybe Labour voters are perhaps a bit reluctant to do so, I guess, if they think that they might cause a split.
Well,
Sorry,
go on. All right, I'll just say right, I'll go quickly and then you go. I think that obviously, we've seen the Greens absolutely surge in the polls relative to where they've been before, but the big question was going to be, how does that transfer electorally? I'd been of the mind that any electoral success for the Greens was going to be front run by them increasing in the polls. I kind of, I normally the way that I feel it out is that I usually think that there'll be a big jump in the polls, but then there's a little bit of a gap, a little bit of a lag before you then see that translated into votes. It's sort of like people have to see the polls to believe it's possible for them to win on the ground, and then they start winning on the ground. I don't know whether that's a particularly coherent theory, but that was my instinct on the thing. Certainly, if the Greens do win this, then that sticks a new rocket under them, because it says, oh my God, look at this. The Greens can actually win. It's not just they're up 5-10 points in the polls from where they were previously, but they can actually win by-elections from Labour. They can be the left-wing alternative to Labour. That helps them a lot going into the local elections, I think, if they manage it.
Mm-hmm.
What were you going to say, sorry?
Oh, yeah, I think Zach will definitely be in until after the next election, because, I mean, the membership surge has been massive. The surge in polling has been massive. Incidentally, before the Corbyn years, I used to be a Green Party member when Miliband was Labour leader.
Okay.
I wasn't a Green Party member, but I was a Green Party voter pre-Corbyn. Only in local elections, I held my nose and voted Labour in 2015, even though I liked the Greens more then. But yeah, I was that kind of ilk as well.
I believe I voted Greens locally in 2015 and Tories in general, because I was still like voting Tory because of my mum and all that stuff. Then I flipped to Labour after Brexit and became a member of Labour in 2019. Still a member of Labour, but granted only for local reasons. But I haven't really had a chance to canvass locally because technically locals aren't really on in my area. There are some other areas I could probably canvass in just to see what the actual mood is and all that stuff, and see if many of the local Labour lot have actually done anything to counter what's going on nationally. But yeah,
there's some weird news coming out, right, from Sky, from basically the official election observers from the Electoral Commission have said there is, quote, concerning levels of family-influenced voting pressure at the polls today in Gorton and Denton. And I don't want to insinuate too much, but there is definitely cultures within the constituency that are quite sexist and quite pressury towards some family members. And the Electoral Commission said they've made a weird, an unprecedented statement to say it was unusually very, very high today.
Okay.
But, so in a lot of polling stations, basically what's happened is family members have told other people how to vote, because, when you go to vote, you're not actually allowed to confer with anyone else, are you? Whereas
The people hosting the polling, the people that sit behind the tables, they've heard people saying, you vote for this person.
Not that technically the people that give you the ballot paper, but like people that are from the Electoral Commission that observe what's going on. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's been it's Sky News are just reporting on it now.
Oh, now that Purda's over, I see. Well,
but presumably there's nothing they could actually do about that.
I don't.
They wouldn't recall it.
I don't know. What's the procedure for that? I mean, if that's been witnessed or seen to be happening more, is there any grounds for that invalidating the votes in any kind of a way, or is it just?
No, they can't do that. But they have said quite a lot of people have been turned away for lack of valid ID as well.
Oh, that old chestnut coming back.
Well, I suppose there may be some debates on whether or not there should be some more monitoring or some electoral reform or something about that. But yeah, but one thing I'll probably say about this by-election, I have heard talk saying that there's some Labour MPs that might be willing to give Starmer the benefit of the doubt if they do poorly in the local elections, if they keep this by-election seat. So it's possible, which I don't think it's going to happen, but apparently if Labour did win this, there might have been a chance that Starmer stays on even after bad local elections. I guess it's sort of like the reverse of what happened in 2021, where he did poorly in the locals but kept the by-election and he was able to stay on as leader.
I think the way I feel about it at this point is that if Labour MPs decide amongst themselves that for whatever reason they do want to stick with Starmer for as long as they want to stick with Starmer, but the result of that, such as say this by-election, is that the Greens do win it and the Greens do start taking from Labour, then I'll no longer weep over how badly Labour's doing, because I'll at least go, oh well, there's someone else there who can get some votes. There is an alternative there,
But yeah,
it's kind of six a dozen, half another. Six of one, half a dozen of another. I need to go soon. I'm tired. Between me sort of not being quite left wing enough, maybe for the Greens, but then also being incredibly disappointed by Labour not being left wing enough. But
yeah, I'd say the only reason Starmer stays on is because they do not have yet a candidate that's ideal to replace them both on the left and the right, because all the candidates that are there have at least one scandal or another, one bad association in order to replace Starmer. The only one that doesn't is Andy Burnham, but that's because he's not in Parliament right now and he can't get in. So that's the only reason I can see Starmer staying on. But honestly, I think Labour's going to lose this by-election and they're going to do really poorly in the locals. And I think you're probably going to get more calls for Starmer to resign, because it is proof that he is no longer electorally viable for the Labour Party.
Yeah,
it could be the case that the other potential contenders will be like, will you stay on and take the losses for the locals, and then we'll pick up later afterwards? Because if we get in, we won't have enough time to sort of turn the ship around.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense, yeah.
Dan Hodges is reporting that the Labour sources are saying they think the Greens have won, and Reform sources also say they think the Greens have won.
Oh.
Yeah, the one thing I'm looking forward to is to see Matt Goodwin's reaction.
Vohan's here. It's been a while since I've seen Vohan in the chat as well. Hello there. Unfortunately, we're going in just a minute, because we're not expecting the result until 4 a.m.
Also, after the William fiasco, we're not letting anyone in the chat.
No. You have to go back in the stream to find out what happened with that.
Where did you hear 1 a.m.? Because I heard like midnight or 1 o'clock.
No, I heard 4 a.m. It was just in a news article I'd read just on the by-election. It said some, by-elections happening, results are expected at 4 a.m. It could be that other sources are saying different times, but that's just the one that I'd read saying 4 a.m. But either way, I'm going to have to go soon, because it's been a long day for me, and I've got another day tomorrow. I'm just not going to have the time to stay up all night, unfortunately. My brain's gone blank. I don't know what I'm saying at this point, guys. I do want to say thank you very much to you guys for coming on, and the other guests that we've had apart from William this evening, which have made it such a special Milky Awards and our preparation for the by-election as well. And to the dear viewers as well, we've had a good viewership come in for this one. Quite a few of you watching us live, so I appreciate that as well. As I said before, when we get the results of the by-election in at some point tomorrow, I will come back and discuss the results as they've happened. It seems like we're expecting the Greens have won it. But of course, nothing's guaranteed. I would say, though, that the result I'd be the most surprised by would be Labour winning it. If the Greens don't win it, then I'd expect it to be Reform having come up through the middle, because Labour and the Greens split one another apart. I'd be very surprised if Labour held it, but yeah, there we are. Are there any final things you guys want to say before we go?
Well, I suppose I should thank everyone who voted for me for the Milky Awards. I came in, I guess, second place by default, technically, but still second place.
Hey, so had to get through the nominations to make it into the finals.
Yeah, hopefully next year I will finally be able to defeat Tom and get the first place. So granted, my one disadvantage is that Tom is a lot more informative of politics than me, but who knows? Perhaps maybe I can join.
Oh, that's that's not a barrier to entry on this channel.
But yeah,
We've
who
had our
knows?
guests in the past.
But who knows? Perhaps if Swiss gets some non-politic discussions as well, I can also join those, like movies. So yeah, I mean, after all, there's a new Mario movie coming out soon, and I know you love your Mario, Swiss.
You know what? I've started watching the Peaky Blinders on Netflix.
Okay.
I've been binge watching that over the past few weeks. I mentioned that just because when you're talking about new films coming out, there's a film of Peaky Blinders that's coming out next month apparently, and that's interesting to me. But yes, no, I've seen the first Super Mario Brothers movie, so I'll probably end up seeing the second one at some point as well.
Yeah. So so thanks everyone for voting for me, and it was fun also doing this by-election discussion. Hopefully, let's see if Swiss does the results. It does a results stream either some point during this weekend. I guess I'll hopefully get chance to join. But if not, I guess I will see you a lot next time. Knows, maybe I'll do my own stream about it.
Yes, and I'll mention again. I posted a link in the comments earlier on to John's channel. I'm also going to place that in the description of this stream once we're finished as well. John is hosting political streams from time to time involving some of the guests that we have on this channel as well. So that is worth checking out. I want to say, NA, this is the second time you've been on one of these streams. You've been on once before, haven't you?
Yeah.
So it's been very nice to have you once again. You're
Nice
always nice to see your comments in the chat, and I know that you always pop up. If I'm absent for too long, you're the one that always pops up to kind of go, Swiss, are you good? Are you still there? And usually that's a little sign where I go, shit, I need to do a stream. It's been too long since I've seen anybody.
You're I think I've mentioned before, you're the only person I've subscribed to where I have notifications on. So,
hey, smashing, and yeah, click that bell, boys and girls. And Dan, thank you very much as always. It's always nice to have you on.
Thank you.
I'm pleased that you could be here for by-election fun and Milkys as well. And of course, who else did we have on today? We had Tom on, and we had Franklin, and it was Franklin. It was and Pterodax, Christ, and William.
But not William.
Not
Get lost, William. Never return.
Scarred.
Oh, right. So, thank you very much to all of you guys, and to all of you in the chat as well. And indeed, because we've been having a little bit of reflection today about it being getting on for 10 years or so that I've been doing this. Yeah. The exact anniversary is unknown, but there we are.
Still having audio issues.
And yes, and I'm still having technical issues. Thank you to all of you that have been here for as long as you have, and for much longer to come, I'm sure.
And don't forget the Pokemon streams, Swiss.
And maybe I'll do some Pokemon at some point as well. It might happen when I get around to it. All right, guys, have a good night. If any of you are staying up for the by-election results, good luck, have fun.
Oh no, I've got work in the morning.
I'll catch you all later. Bye-bye.
Bye.